Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the feature race on a loaded card at Laurel Park on Saturday. Several stakes races, but the big one's race number 9. It's the Frank J. DeFrancis Memorial. $150,000 is the purse, going 3/4 of a mile. Let's take a look at this field. What are we going to get from Wonder Where Craig Is? I wonder where Craig is from a form standpoint, Mike. I think you can give him a little bit of a break for his last race. He was in against a very sharp horse in Straight Mo Chaser. He's the kind of horse that sometimes is an in and outer, but when he shows up, he's really tough.
Yeah, his good race is actually really good. I guess it's fair to question whether or not you're going to get it here. He's only started twice so far this year. Dan worked really hard to win that first one against an allowance optional claiming field. I guess you don't want to be too hard on him for that last one. I still would have liked to have seen him run a little bit better.
Let's throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector. He's been given time to freshen up since that last race, and breaking from this inside post position, Wonder Where Craig is going to likely show speed, as is Sir Wellington. Now, while the number 6 Lightning Larry has plenty of speed as well, I think he'd be pleased as punch if this Timeform US Pace Projector proves true, and he's sitting just off the duelers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the good news for Lightning Larry is he can go to the front if this pace, for whatever reason, doesn't develop in front of him. But if they go, he's perfectly comfortable just sort of sitting off of other horses and then making a big run off the turn.
Now, number 1, Lad Needs a Handler's come a long way since he won an $8,000 non-winners of 3 Life claimer on New Year's Day. Here's his most recent start, an off-turf race. This is against some state-sired horses, and I thought he took advantage of a severe inside speed favoring track. He went to the front. He dominated that field. These are tougher.
Yeah, these are a lot tougher here. They're going to step him up and just, hope that he can take a pretty big step forward here, Dan. He's got his work cut out for him against this field. He ran well in that race we're watching. All 4 of his wins since he broke his maiden, though, they're all at 5.5 furlongs against weaker horses. I mean, he's way up in class for this.
Wonder Where Craig is just a cool horse. He's a graded stakes winner. Some could argue he got robbed in the 2021 DeFrancis, where he won it and got disqualified and placed second. He was second in this race last year. Last time out in the Maryland Sprint at Pimlico, again, that's Straight No Chaser. It's a shame that horse got hurt, because he would have been a factor in the sprint division the rest of the year. He went to the front. It's not like he was blazing up front, and I just think that worked against Wonder Where Craig is. That Maryland Sprint has been live. It's already produced 3 next out winners.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see, how well this horse can bounce back, because, all of the excuses that you could make for him, I guess they could be well taken, Dan. I still didn't think he ran well in that race after he didn't make the lead in there. And it just sort of makes me reluctant to take him at what could be a short price in here. I know his good race is plenty good enough.
Synthesis, the number 3, is slowly improving at the age of 7 for trainer David Jacobson, who's shipped in many live horses to Laurel over the last few months or so. Here's Synthesis's most recent start. This is the graded John Nayrud at Belmont, going 7/8 of a mile. The pace was not necessarily fast here. They went 46 to the half, but the closers did do very well, including the winner 3 Technique, who probably got a better trip overall than the wide Synthesis.
Yeah, that's true enough. I mean, 3 Technique got a little bit more of an in-out situation here, but these 2 horses were pretty much on even terms at the top of the stretch, and it's really no contest here. Pretty game run here at the end for Synthesis to get up for second in there. He never looked like he was going to win. He's got that fast race. 3 starts back, Dan. If he can run a figure like that, he's a major player in this race. I want to see him do it.
If there is a big pace up front, it does work to his advantage. I've always wondered if he wants to go just a little bit more than 3/4, if he's more a 6.5, 7 kind of horse. He's a big, giant striding type. Sometimes it takes him a while to get going. Sir Wellington's been in very good form for Mac Robertson. He's hit the board in his last 4 races. Last time out in the Alopacas run, he took the race to Lightning Larry, and he was just second best.
Yep, he ran fine in that race. I don't have anything to add to your analysis of it there, Dan. This horse is in good form. He ran fine last time. He wasn't as good as the winner.
He gets a 2-pound weight shift from Lightning Larry, and if Wonder Where Craig shows up with one of his clunkers, maybe this horse is in command when the field turns for home. 3 is Over Deuces has always been sort of a lovable horse, despite the fact that he's run second 20 times and third 10 times. You got to time it right with 3 is Over Deuces. And J-Ron Barbosa did. Last time out at Delaware, going 3/4 in a high-level allowance. Here's 3s over deuces on the outside. And I'm sure many of the fans in the Mid-Atlantic area are sitting here saying, I know exactly what's going to happen. 3s over deuces is going to look this horse in the eye, and he's going to settle. But he did not settle. He got his nose down on the wire.
Yeah, sort of a well-deserved win for this horse, though, Dan. He's won 2 out of his last 3 now. That's a good sign for him. They're going to step him back up in class here. He's going to need his absolute best, but he can sit a little bit. I mean, if they go, really fast early in this race, it could work to his advantage.
He's got plenty of back races. He was second in the General George. Where else would he be? Back in 2020. And I think this is a horse who has improved as he's gotten a little bit older. Lightning Larry is the number 6. Just another very consistent horse. 14 of 17 on the board for trainer Jorge Delgado. Here's his win in the Alapocas run last time out. He was sitting outside of Sir Wellington, and it looked like he was working pretty hard on the turn. But once they turn into the straight and he collars Sir Wellington, he goes about his business to win. It's not like this pace was very fast. They went 46 to the half. So I think Daniel Centeno, who's going to be picking up the mount here, is going to be very content to sit just off the pace.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he actually ran really well in here, Dave, because you're right. The pace wasn't that fast, and he did have to work, but he got the job done and ultimately got the job done pretty easily. I thought he was super impressive. 2 starts back at Monmouth. They did go fast in front of him that day. He came rolling through the stretch there. That was a really nice win for this horse.
And Holy Synchronicity completes the field. This is a Maryland bred trained by Rudy Sanchez Salomon. We're going to see him run 3rd over a wet fast track. I don't think this horse likes a wet track at all. And maybe this contributed to sort of his one-paced 3rd place finish. He's another horse that would benefit from some speed up front. And the horse that beat him in this race, Stage Left, isn't bad.
Stage Left isn't bad. I don't know if I would consider him, sort of a stakes quality horse, but he's been in good form and he's got some fast races on his card. I don't know, Dan. This horse is fine. It looks like a race like this is probably going to be a little too tough for him.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the DeFrancis Dash. We're both going to go with Lightning Larry. Like you, I really liked his Monmouth race, and I think they were very cognizant of the fact last time out at Delaware. It was not a big field. They had to go after the other speed, especially when Barron didn't break, and maybe that flatters Lightning Larry a little bit more, and maybe he was taken out of his game a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I really like his last 2 races. I appreciate that he's sort of that tactical sprinter where he'll be up close, but he doesn't need the lead, Dan. And ultimately, then the form he's in right now, I trusted him a little bit more than I trust Wonder Where Craig is.
Curious to see what Synthesis does if this pace heats up. I still think it might be a little short for him. And of course, curious to see what Wonder Where Craig is, because he, on paper, might very well just simply be the best horse in the race. 6-2-3-4 for Mike, 6-3-4-5 for me. It's the DeFrancis Dash, huge card at Laurel on Saturday. Good luck.